Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, date's not really important for this one. Really, for a couple of them today. But I just had a surreal talk with my son. He expects, well, part of him anyway, kind of expected to be able to go back to school next year and continue in learning his instrument and going to advanced math and all that stuff. But I don't think that's going to happen. Don't think it's going to work out. I don't think a lot of people are going to be around. I really don't. It's a very sobering thing to have a talk with your child about what's going to happen to us. I explained to him about the crop losses and how we're currently eating last year's, reserves, or last year's crops. And a lot of that got wiped out, right? Remember? And I talked to him about the mass layoffs occurring. I also talked to him about the people trying to ship Ebola patients or victims or carriers, however you want to call it, over our borders, and probably have successfully done so. With all that in mind, with the retail stores closing at breakneck speeds, how can we think otherwise? That things are about to get really fucking ugly. Can it be turned around? No. Can't be turned around. Like the guy said in The Walking Dead, Season 1, or Season 5, Episode 1, there's no going back, Bob. No, there's no going back. And I know this because of Flint, Michigan. It never went back, did it? Or Detroit. Or many other cities across this nation. We know there's no going back. Prepare, people. Prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves psychologically. Prepare yourselves physically. Again, if you have bad habits, and now is a really good time to give them up. I'm telling you what. Even if it sucks a lot, it's time. It's time to give up those bad habits. I'm referring mostly to, about smoking cigarettes. If you smoke cigarettes, you're not doing yourself any favors. Now, when I was around those militia dudes, there was a couple guys there, and they could run miles and miles and miles with cigarettes dangling out of their mouths. I don't know. I never understood how that was even possible, but they could do it. And I'm not one of them guys, so I went ahead and gave it up. Made my wife give it up. And anybody in my group that ends up with me, I'm not going to have any mercy on them because they're smokers. I've been warning people for years about this, and it's finally coming. It's finally, like, down to the last few months, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be. But I don't think so. I don't think so. But there's still that possibility that somehow, some way, things work out. They're only going to work out so many times, and for so long. No fix will be permanent. No little patch on the dam is going to hold the water back. And speaking of dam and water, the Oroville Dam out there, I believe in California. Yeah, California. You know, it's about to go. And they're looking at more rain. And that's quite a lot of people in its path. Quite a bit. And not just people, but farmland and orchards and these kinds of things. And petroleum storage facilities, and everything that's happening is going to destroy the soil here. I don't want to eat food that's grown in contaminated soil. Do you? So I had this talk with my son, and he's a good kid. Far better child than I ever was, and probably will be a far better adult than I ever will be. I've taken the time and worked with him and treated him right. I didn't have that advantage. If I were being honest with myself and my viewer, I would tell you that I'm getting to be very worried. Very worried. I mean, I don't want to die of some fucked up disease because, our government or some group of billionaires decided it was time to pull the plug on the whole thing. Do you? Do you want to die of a nasty fucking disease like Ebola or maybe the plague or whatever shit they decide they're going to unleash? Looks like it's going to be Ebola, but who knows? It might be a diversion with these people. You never know. But, yeah, I'm getting worried. I'm worried for each and every one of you. And I've never been worried to the point that I am. I'm losing sleep every night. I wake up from nightmares, and I can't go back to sleep after them. Coffee isn't doing it anymore. I'm exhausted. But I keep pushing and pushing and putting the content out. I keep trying to prepare. But will it be in vain? And that's what I have to wonder. Will it be in vain? Not a lack of water I'm worried about. Not even a lack of food, really. It's the disease part I'm worried about. But, yeah, having a talk like this with your 15-year-old son is bad. And I have to be very, very worried to alert him the way I just did. I've never done anything like that. I try to keep my children out of it. But they're not going to be out of it. They're going to be right in the middle of it, right with me, right with their mom, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. And I'd known some people that said that, they're going to kill themselves and their whole family when it's very evident that it's all falling apart. I'm not going to be that person. We're going to fight to the bitter end. Bullets, arrows, bolts, knives, machetes, whatever it takes. How about you?